Happy day after Cinco de Mayo.
You should be hungover.
I should be.
You should be drunk.
Yeah.
I will be.
You had a fun morning.
I did have a fun morning. Really interesting. So,
And a fun evening.
I did.
The night before. Yesterday.
What did I do?
The live.
Oh yeah,
Had a fun week.
I had a big fun week. We so for 5-4 day we did 4 DJs went live on the Menlo Club account. Eric Deluxe, DJ Vice, William Lifestyle, who actually was also our first ever employee.
Yep.
And Dr. Baile, who is an employee of ours at 5-4, who also DJs the All Tune Tune party. It's a very popular Spanish party in LA. Drinking during that, like I was at a club. I was fucking drunk.
So you were drinking tequila. I was drinking White Claws.
I was drinking Clase Azul on the rocks because Mike Lopez, our buddy who listens to the pod, also sent me a bottle for 5-4 day.
That's nice.
So polished off half of that during that 1 hour.
Jesus.
I finished that. I stand up to put Dom to like do the sleep routine, and I am dizzy.
I mean, half a bottle would do that to anyone.
Luckily, it was only 7. So then I started drinking water, had a little snack, and then by 9:45, back to sleep. So I was kind of went through my hungover like phase and got to go to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning and DJ Vice and I, who has been running a mile a day for 892 days.
No way.
That's crazy.
What inspired that?
His wife.
Was like, just go run?
Yeah, I think just taking some sort of initiative in his health, and he said a mile a day is doable. And he has a crazy travel schedule. He travels all over the country, all over the world, DJing. And he was giving examples like one time after like the Preakness, he hadn't ran. It was 11:30 at night. He ran the racetrack.
And he must have been drunk.
Drunk, yeah.
That reminds me of when Chad Nutter, he had to do his challenge. We're in Miami, straight out of 11. We get back to the hotel, and he went on the boardwalk to run his 5K or whatever he was doing.
5K a day back then.
That's wild.
And then so this morning on Cinco de Mayo, he's doing a 5-hour DJ set. So he was like, let's do Cinco de Milo. And so we did a mile on Instagram live while running. So I'm running on the street. I live in Hollywood. I'm running down Hollywood Boulevard. And this woman goes, don't you see 6 feet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, she got mad you got too close?
Yes. And so I'm on
You're
Instagram.
on Instagram live?
I'm on live. And I'm like, and I'm yelling afterwards. I'm just like, this woman just yelled at me because I was 6 feet.
That's pretty good.
And so then we finished that, and then we both took a shot of tequila. So I got a nice 9:15 a.m. shot.
Yeah.
And then started the day. And then right after this, I'm going to cruise right into a little tequila taco big evening. And I brought this up last year, but most people think Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day, which it is not. It is celebrating the Battle of Pueblo of the Mexican army defeating the French.
News to me.
And so obviously definitely news to you. And so I think it's funny that particular holiday, which has nothing to do with America, and I don't think most Mexicans care about this particular day, but America is so good at packaging holidays and making them matter better than anyone. Because if you look at, in a normal instances, and I always like to bring out the stats, this year it's irrelevant, but if you take like one of the biggest days for like greeting cards is not just Valentine's Day or the holidays, it's Halloween. You know, these holidays are such big businesses for, obviously Cinco de Mayo is for restaurants. I bet you a donut shop does extremely well because people go get decorated stuff. Obviously any type of Mexican food does phenomenal. It's such an interesting, like you could take anything and package it and make it a massive business. And every single one of these holidays, America has made into billion-dollar industries.
And it's similar to what Alibaba does with Singles Day.
Yeah.
Like what is Singles Day?
Yeah. It's for people that treat themselves. That's what it's for. Make
I
yourself
had no
better.
idea.
Yeah, make yourself feel better.
But it's just massive deals and everyone's buying.
Yeah, but the idea that you could just make a holiday, it's like what 5-4 day is, right? Like we made that holiday ours for our brand. And if you look at, so Mother's Day is coming up. Mother's Day is a massive business with greeting cards, gifts, restaurants, everything. So I'm curious to see how Mother's Day spending is given the current climate, because you're eliminating all the restaurant business, which is huge. Because the joke I always make, try getting a reservation at any decent place on Mother's Day. Only place that's open on Mother's Day that doesn't have reservations is Indian restaurants. Indian restaurants, you can walk right in on Mother's Day and get a table. Father's Day, easiest place to get reservation. You should, if you have a big important plan, you should schedule it for Father's Day, because all the restaurants.
Or if it's like the restaurant you've always wanted to go, you want to go to Bavel or whatever, one of these hot restaurants. Just book it for.
You
Father's
want French
Day.
Laundry? You're like, what's a good day? Father's Day, because no one gives a shit about it. But it's
you know what also just tells me is that we're just inherently a consuming culture. Any excuse to spend and consume, we're willing to do it.
And party.
I don't think that's, I honestly don't think that is the actual reason. I actually think anything that makes us feel better and makes us feel good, we're willing to spend money on. So Cinco de Mayo, as someone growing up in LA, especially when I got of drinking age, it was fun. That made me going out and Cinco de Mayo from like 4 p.m. till 3 in the morning was the most. Like I remember ending up at Pinche's Taco on Sunset at 2:30 in the morning on Cinco de Mayo, and it's still a raging party.
Yeah, so it's also the need to have cheat days.
Yeah.
So we treat all these holidays as cheat days.
Yeah.
Like, it's Cinco de Mayo, I can have 7 tacos, drink 8 tequilas, and don't feel bad about myself.
We want to feel good. Americans are good at feeling good.
Or not feeling bad for Mother's Day or Father's Day. You feel like you have to buy something.
Yeah, Mother's Day is with extreme guilt that you have to do something nice for your mother. Speaking of that, one of the things that I think I've been excited about what we're doing our group chat is like really empowering and connecting and building the relationships with our listeners. One of the listeners, we actually built a relationship. So Robbie Snader, who runs with us at Run Club, who works over at Movement, one day was telling me about his mom's business, and it's handmade vegan soaps. And I think we talked about it a few weeks ago on the pod. And I was like, oh, I want to meet her. And so I ended up meeting her, and she ended up bringing me soap. I ended up using the soap. I love it because it has like no chemicals. It's oatmeal. It's like clean, and I have sensitive skin. So I start using it. And then we launched this website, cleanmonster.com, to sell masks and hand sanitizer. And I was like, you know what? Let's just open it up to like people we know that are doing interesting things. She donates a bar of soap to homeless people for every soap she sells. And so I was like, that's amazing. And she was so nice. She comes to our office the other day and drops off Love You Mom gifts for our moms.
Those are awesome.
Which are amazing. Handmade soaps that spell out Love You Mom. And I was like, oh my God, can you make like 100 of these? And so we can throw them up our site for our listeners, our Menlo Club members, and see what happens. So she was like, great, you want to order 100? I'll buy 100 of these, and I'll buy 100 of soaps, and I'll just start buying stuff from her. And I was like, you're also doing good for the community. Let's go do it. So we launched them up on cleanmonster.com. If you use the code group chat, you can get free shipping and I think 10% off. But she's doing this amazing thing. And I'm like, what if, I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to my business partner, Andres, about it. I was like, what if we end up selling like 1 million of her soap? How awesome of a story would that be?
That'd be awesome. She would have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So Robbie
because they're handmade.
Everyone. Robbie was over like at my place probably 3 or 4 nights ago, keeping our distance, obviously. And we FaceTime her like at probably 10:30, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was catching up. I was like, what have you been doing all day? She's like, I've been working like 15 hours today, making all these letters for Dee. Dee needs all this soap. And I've been in here making soap all day, but she loves it. Like, she's so passionate about the soap.
Yeah. And
it smells great too. Like they all sit around my desk.
Yeah.
It's never smelled better.
Yeah, it's really good, and I'm just happy that like we can build this like. If we can create this type of ecosystem where like we find something interesting and then we can actually help them monetize it, I mean, that's like, it's priceless.
That's pretty much what we're trying to build.
Yeah.
That's like the second order effect of us just recording 3 times a week and talking about the news. It's having a community of people that are like-minded, that everyone can help each other.
And that's what we want to do in advertising. That's what we want to do through the newsletter. That's what we want to do through our new segment, which got a name change officially.
Yeah. Rebrand.
Behind closed doors.
The rundown was
It was a roundup.
The roundup.
Roundup.
Because we
which was
copied
I
the
thought
rundown.
So this is like unprecedented. One media piece has had 3 name changes, right?
Yes.
You've had 3 names.
What was the second name?
Wasn't it
What's the second
Tuesdays
name?
and Thursdays?
Well, that was never official.
No, that was never official. That was just suggested.
behind the closed
That was always
doors.
behind the closed doors.
That was behind the door, and then you'd open up the fucking door.
Yeah. So they are the segment that Pete and Taylor do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I suggested to call it Tuesdays and Thursdays.
We're thinking bigger than that. We're thinking global. We're thinking every day. We can't be
Okay.
tied.
You gotta
We
think
can't be
big.
trapped in a
Okay.
box.
Almost 8 days a week if I have to.
If Pete at least did his daily job on time, then maybe we could be think bigger.
What daily job do I not do on time?
I told you to post group chat on my Instagram every single day. It's not posted.
Wow, that's probably why we're looking into hiring somebody for the things like that.
Yeah.
Because
That is
amongst
part of
other
your daily
things-
job.
Yeah. It's that amongst the other 9 million
He only has
things.
700 other daily jobs.
Yeah.
That's how we
But it's
work.
okay.
That's how we work here.
Oh, yeah, I figured that out real quick once I got here.
No one gets hired for one thing in this company.
No. That's
There's a reason why we've been around 18 years.
Yeah.
So the rebrand is called Behind Closed Doors.
Yes.
It's a really fun segment that Taylor and Pete are hosting. Anand, myself, and Drama are rotating as the guests.
I did yesterday, or
Yep.
today's episode, right?
Right.
Yeah, it came out last night. But that was awesome. Anand gave us this insider stock
Finally.
tips, which he
Finally.
never shares. Anand's the
Right.
smartest financial guy. He lets me and D and all of us idiots talk about stocks, and he just stays quiet. But he
Right.
gave us a stock tip. Have they reported yet?
Publicly, no, they haven't
Is this
yet.
live? Can you spill some beans on that?
I'm with a group of friends. We pulled some money together, and we backed a trader that is shorting Planet Fitness.
Okay. And the earnings are out any
And
moment.
it would happen during the pod.
Okay.
So we're rooting for bankruptcy.
Right.
Full bankruptcy.
But yeah,
Did you see Gold's Gym filed for bankruptcy?
They
Yeah.
weren't public, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they
know
were
that.
private. I was looking for their stock.
You understand? Sure.
yeah, because they closed over 30
Over 30
stores.
locations. Yeah, and the meatheads are going everywhere.
I mean, like speaking of that, I think the cool thing about the segment is that it's a more personal take on
What happens behind closed doors?
exactly. So
And especially once we reopen back up,
yeah,
a lot
then
more
it'll
shit's
really-
going to come out of the cracks.
Yeah. I actually have a new vision for my office because I was reading an article on how Credit Suisse, the investment bank and banking operation, how they're going to reopen and how they think it's going to take almost 3 months to get fully back into office life. So I'm thinking of taking the photo studio, which is a big open space, and making the whole thing my office, putting a gym, a shower, and just kicking the photo studio out somewhere else.
Where? Can you
Where?
take pictures?
You don't have any more space.
What do you use? We
We actually,
They've-
not everyone's gonna. We have the entire floor, and we haven't blown down the walls yet.
You're gonna blow down the walls?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be open.
Yeah.
What's your
pretty tight.
limitations of what you can do with this floor?
It's gonna take like a year.
Yeah.
But that's the idea.
Isn't that committing to more long-term office space, which you don't want?
Well, I'm not anti-office space. I'm sure everyone else is. But if I could make like a 4,000 square foot office / gym for myself, that'd be pretty cool.
Charging your employees gym memberships.
Yeah, and
Making money on it?
By the way,
Gym
the
and
gym
shower.
membership is
Just like-
100% private for the C-suite.
Just
This isn't open to the public, but that'll be a fun segment on Behind Closed Door, the building of my personal Equinox.
No,
I
like
get
it.
keys to that, right?
Yeah, because you'll be cleaning it.
Yeah, as long as you're cleaning it.
Okay, that was great.
All right, so let's jump into some news. Some of the interesting things that are happening in the news is businesses are reopening. The business that I thought would be hit the hardest and take the longest to reopen has said that it will set sail on August 1st. Carnival Cruise Line is setting sail on their first cruise August 1st. And my guess, it will be completely 100% sold out.
No way.
Yeah, it'll be sold out because. So are they going to design a cruise with these new socially distant rules, or they're just going to pack them in like sardines? Like
I'll
they
tell
always
you
do?
what
You
they're.
can't socially distance that.
I'll tell you what they're doing. So the rumor is
They
and
don't
I-
want to give cans refunds.
no, it's $28 a day on the cruise. That's how cheap it is.
Versus what's it normally?
I mean, I'm sure it's more. If you went on a 7-day Carnival cruise, what is that? $1,000? So you're talking about it's going to open it up to people that can't afford it. It's unclear all the policies yet. They have one of the challenges is that it's what are the maritime restrictions that the CDC, the U.S. government, can put, and the reality is they probably have very little control over what happens on open waters. So we're going to start learning on how they're going to do it, but it's setting sail from Galveston, Texas. So these are going to be smaller kind of term cruise. So it may be just going to like Miami or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like a 3-day cruise. And the rumor is that the cruise could be as low as $28 a day for attendees. I think something like that, who'll be unlimited wait list.
So here's the thing. I think we've pretty much gotten to the point where everyone's kind of loosening in this quarantine, and businesses are trying to reopen. We're trying to figure out how to open restaurants. At what point, even if there is a second wave, do you think the government will even have the clout to shut us down again?
Yeah. Can they stop us?
Can they, like, once you let the cruises go on again, the gyms open, the restaurants open, second wave happens, hospitals start filling up, how are you going to tell people to go back to what we just experienced this last 7 weeks? As you would tell, if you talk to most people, this was, I mean, to everyone, this was inconceivable what just happened the last 7 to 8 weeks. And largely, most of the population is healthy and will be healthy even during the second wave. How are you going to stop this?
I don't think you can, because the first wave, we were so scared. We didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So you were so overly scared. Now it's like, oh yeah, I know someone that got corona. Like, not that bad. Like, it just keep going out. The second wave, I don't think you can shut us down again.
Yeah, I think
the only way you can effectively get a major shutdown is just massive deaths, not people getting sick.
But I think what we've also learned is most of the population does not care if this affects old people and people at high risk. They'll say, that's your problem. That's what I kind of get. But I think that's where we're at right now in society.
So
Not saying that's where I stand. I'm saying that's what the kind of temperament you get when you hear people talking about it.
I agree. And I think that's where the economy's recovery is a lot slower than we anticipate, is because people that are considered high risk are going to be extremely slow entering back into the economy as a consumer, as a dweller of trap, whatever it is. Like, they're going to be extremely cautious, and that is going to cause it. What it's going to do is, now that we know, what is the worst case of this situation, at least we think we know, we're all going to choose how we decide to operate our life, right? Some people are not going to care at all. Some people, I think vast majority of people want to get life back going, but they're going to operate cautiously.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, I mean, even if we have some resemblance of an opening, me personally, I'm going to be fairly cautious because I want to see my parents. I want my parents to see our kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, I've seen my mom once in quarantine, and that was a socially distanced walk.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, they're in their 70s.
Yeah. I've seen them many times.
What are you doing?
Give them corona.
I've gone over and hung out in the backyard.
Got it. But yeah, I just fear that, that they're my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But what if you get a test and testing's easier and
I think you have to test every day. That's the problem.
But is it true if you get it once, you're done?
No, it's not true. It's unclear.
The other problem is there's even an article, I think in Forbes or Fortune, we should share it, is a woman gets tested 4 times and twice it told her she had it, and twice it's like there's no accuracy in the test still.
Yeah.
And so maybe in 30 days the testing will be a lot more accurate, a lot cheaper, a lot more efficient. But we're now seeing that everything's about to reopen. Like, we know Gavin Newsom, who was kind of the most conservative person on the way he ran California the last month, 6 weeks, is now laid out what does it look like to gradually transition people back to some sort of normalcy. And this has nothing to do, by the way, with the protest. I want to make sure people understand that. Like, the protest is all politically charged. It has nothing to do with actually reopening the country. Those were Trump rallies that were hiding as protest for reopening the public. You mentioned, Taylor, that you're in Newport Harbor, aka MAGA country, MAGA capital, and people were just screaming to nobody, open up the country.
Yeah, we were on the boats, and every boat had these Trump flags, and they'd all dock up together and just start screaming like, "Open up the country!"
And they all had Trump flags, right?
All had Trump flags. The funniest thing, they're all on these like little dinghy boats, like the littlest shittiest boats, while we're on these big boats, just being like, "Guys, what the hell's wrong with you?"
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately the problem is that like it's turned into a political thing, but Newsom has now said that they're going to start loosening restrictions. And so that goes along with a lot more testing that they feel that is important. So they're conducting 25,000 tests per day is what they're saying. And now it's slowly about what does it look like to open up parks? What does it look like to open up businesses? Like I think in some, I forgot, I don't know if it was California, they're going to let sporting good retailers, they're going to let like coffee shop, like certain amount of restaurants start reopen. Not restaurants, but like certain types of businesses to start.
But even when those businesses reopen, they're probably better off closed. Like no one's going to Big Five right now and buying sporting goods.
I'd go to the sporting goods store.
I'd pick up a basketball just so I could walk around my neighborhood dribbling a basketball.
What are you, 12?
Switch it up a little.
No, absolutely not.
At some of the public parks, they take the basketball rims off the baskets.
Yeah.
So you can't even go shoot around.
So I think, what does it look like? So they're going to stage it in 4 stages is how California is viewing it. The stage that I think everyone really cares about is stage 3, which would begin in months. So this is the problem that scares everyone. Opening of hair salons, gyms, sports competition, and empty stadiums and religious service. So they're saying that could take months to reopen, which I think is probably the right way to think about it. I mean, that's what they're saying is large gathering is months away. So I think you're going to start seeing, I agree that the idea of like a Dick's Sporting Goods open is a bad idea, but like we have to start somewhere. And if they got to open and then slowly get, because like there's never going to be a moment where you can just turn on the switch and then everyone goes back to normal unless everyone gets vaccinated.
Yeah,
which is not going to happen.
So are they making these stages because they want to pace to see what happens to the hospitals? That's really the only thing I think we're doing, right? Because the virus isn't disappearing.
Yep.
And if you phase it out, maybe you can control the number of people that are getting it, the number of ICU beds you need, the number of hospital beds you need. Because once you have a full reopening without a vaccine, this is as contagious as it gets. We're going to be back at square one.
What's funny is the new statewide for the stage 1 guidelines is bookstores, music stores, toy stores, florists, sporting good retailers, and others can reopen for pickup, and manufacturing logistics can resume in this retail supply chain. All those things you can do on Amazon or Walmart.com. So there's no reason for any of those people to reopen. So I think the idea is just like, we got to do something. Because here's the problem. If you just said, Gavin Newsom comes out and says, you know what? Let's just, it's Memorial Day coming up. Let's just open everything up. Because literally everyone will go out. Yeah. And it'll be fucking madness. We're not even like, think about it. We need to ramp as a society to even get people back to work is going to take so much time because of the unemployment benefits people are receiving. Well, so let's just assume even if there was, we right now have an unemployment issue where people are getting paid more to stay at home.
Yep.
So they have to wane. California has to say, okay, we're not giving those unemployment benefits anymore. And they risk the chance of doing that, and the businesses aren't scaled at full potential yet. It's the economic calamity of this situation is way bigger than
it's just beginning. That's the reality of it. Because those benefits are going to end, and then when those benefits end and the jobs aren't there,
it's all screwed. But before we move on, I have a couple questions on this. I want you guys' answers. % chance that you think there's a relapse where we go back into quarantine?
I think there'll definitely be a surge in cases, surge in deaths.
But do you think we'll get quarantine? What % chance will we get
like
quarantine again?
What we just experienced?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so because I don't think society will allow it. They're gonna be like,
so.
I think we're so.
People have to be. I'll tell you when. Imagine walking down, where on Wilshire, where our office, busy street, and like at lunchtime, people are dropping dead.
Yeah.
If that happens, we'll
course.
shut down. If people are not literally just walking in Times Square, dropping dead,
then we're not shutting down.
then we're not shutting down. I just don't see it. Because like now we know, at least we think the vast majority of people say, okay, this thing is dangerous, but is it shut down the country dangerous? Am I willing to sacrifice that? Because a lot of people will hit me and be like, how mad are you? I'm like, about what? Like, I'm not mad. Like, we're fine. We'll figure it out.
Give me 4 restaurants. That's all I need. I'm happy. I'll do this quarantine in 4 restaurants.
But you guys are vegetarian. That's all you guys eat anyway. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 more questions. 1% chance NBA season gets finished this year and we have playoffs.
I'd say I'm going to go with a very aggressive 100%.
100%?
I'll go with 99%.
No way.
Yeah.
Like there will be an NBA title champion this year, and it will be the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Percent chance we do Coachella in October.
0. That won't happen.
Percent chance NFL season starts on time.
100%.
I think they may push it to October at the latest, but
it's happening.
You're
with
not
empty
taking
stadiums,
football
worst
away.
case. Yeah.
Football over
like there
basketball.
could be a
You think football's more likely than basketball, Pete?
Yes, in likeliness.
no way.
What are they
Why?
going to do with NBA? They just start the
put in
playoffs right now? What do they do?
So they're gonna finish some of the regular season games. They're gonna get to 70, and then they're gonna start the playoffs.
Yeah.
It'll be an abridged version of the playoffs, and I think it's gonna be. The reports have been it's a bubble scenario, Orlando or Vegas. They're gonna get everyone there. 3 months. Stay away from your families. Test everyone frequently.
And will the season have an asterisk next to us forever? Like,
I mean, it should, right? We just stopped in the middle.
for whoever wins, like, does that count as a real championship?
I mean, we've had a shortened season before. That was the first Spurs title. That was a 60-game season, and they
They
won.
played 60, right?
Yeah,
That's enough.
So if the Lakers win,
no asterisk if the Lakers win.
But if the Clippers
If
win,
the Bucks
it would definitely
win,
be an asterisk.
it's an asterisk.
no, but it's like do people count that against LeBron then? If say
Obviously,
he
I'm
Win,
wins,
sure
LeBron.
it's great for
Yeah.
ESPN talking heads.
Yeah,
Like,
LeBron
sure.
will
talk
have,
about
like,
it
what,
for
4.5 championships?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He'll
That's what
never
I'm
beat
saying.
Michael Jordan. And
He
then
only
next
has-
year when the virus comes back again, he wins again, another asterisk. He's going to win 7 titles and will be considered.
I mean, the
Halftime.
way,
Yeah.
the way LeBron tweeted the other day about they want to get back, it's him and
Controls
a few
NBA.
people that decide what happens.
From the players' perspective. Because I think the players are ready to go back. If the players for some reason said, we don't feel comfortable, but the king is the king. He's the king of the league. He said,
Yeah.
we're playing.
Yeah, what player is going to be like, no, I don't want to play? They still have to collect the rest of their salary.
Yeah. Do you think they're all actually staying in shape during this time, or some are just
Yes.
messing around?
I think the elite guys are staying in shape and the bums aren't.
There's a football player that runs he's a quarterback in the NFL that runs in my neighborhood. This guy sprints up a hill, like a steep hill every single morning. He looks like he's staying in shape.
Can we drop names?
No.
Okay.
But you could slip it, Pete.
I don't know who it is.
I mean, we talked to Kyle. He's Kyle
Yeah.
Allen at the
They're staying in
Redskins.
shape.
He's
You're dumb if you're not staying in shape as a
why
professional
not?
athlete.
It's going to happen.
It's your job.
All right. The other thing that's interesting on the reopen
Here,
is
I want to jump right back into it. You know what's not happening is
What?
random drug testing. So
No.
all these guys are going to be juiced.
yeah.
Like you would think the elite guys are just on HGH,
Oh, I
steroids.
thought you were going to say they're all
I
just
thought
going to be
they were
high the
smoking
whole
weed the whole
time.
time.
No,
Yeah,
the
that's
guys
where
that
you're
want
going
the
to.
edge.
Yeah.
Like Gronk looked like he put on 25
Yeah.
pounds overnight.
He looks like he's
he's
ready
also
for the
high.
NFL season.
Yeah, he's like, they're not going to test this season. You can't even get someone near my dick. The other thing that's interesting, so a lot of billionaires are commenting on what this reopen looks like. And Sam Zell, who's a billionaire real estate person that made a tremendous amount of money in from the Great Depression era, like buying up real estate for all these decades. He has been talking about what does real estate look like? What does the economy look like? And he feels like the economy is really scarred. And he feels that this is going to take a lot longer than people think. And that so there was an interesting stat that we're going to discuss, we're just talking about it now, is that home prices have maintained. In some cases, they've even gone up. But that doesn't mean transactions are happening. It's just that people are not dropping their prices. Because I think a lot of people, and I know a few people who are in the process of selling homes, feel confident that there will be buyers come this summer when things normalize. unless it's a very specific location and you have something special where like there's a demand for your home because of where you live, home prices are going to come down. I just don't think it's going to come down right now. Like I think it's next year.
Yeah.
Like end of the year, early next year. And that's what I think this billionaire is saying, is that the pain is going to be slow and long. It's not going to be like an immediate drop.
But doesn't this feel a little like Bill Ackman-y going on? Because he doesn't even want things to drop badly so he can go buy them. Isn't this is his game to buy distressed assets?
So Bill Ackman can do that in the public market and spook the market and actually take advantage of it. Real estate's a private market, right? Like there's no fluctuation of retail real estate prices on a daily because of a market. So I agree. There could be a long-term play on that. I just don't think it's the same. Bill Ackman literally manipulated the stock market.
Yeah, made billions. Good for him.
Yeah.
But to your point, I do think it's a slow grind because if you think about, let's just think about Los Angeles, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills area. If you own a $2 to $3 million home, the majority of your probably like net worth is in that home.
Yep.
That person right now, 8 weeks into quarantine, probably still has their job, still making money, even if it's a little, maybe they all took a little haircut at their company. It's most likely a white collar job. They haven't really felt the pain yet.
Yeah.
So that person who owns that $2 to $3 million house will sell when they have to dip into their savings.
Yes.
Because they didn't get their job or they got fired and they're like, okay, we need to downsize our life. Let me shore up some cash.
Well, the other thing is
medical bills are piling up, whatever. Like our little bubble hasn't felt the pain financially yet. Yeah. They will in 6 months.
And the other thing that people are always accounting for in their income that is no longer going to happen, which is wage inflation. Right? In these types of industries, these high-flying, high-growth industries, you're used to getting a bonus. You're used to getting a pay increase. That is zero chance this year. And I would say zero chance next year. So your idea that your income is going to increase in your traditional job is just not going to happen.
And I think we're all skewed too by what happened in 08, at least my generation. We're waiting for stuff to dip to start buying. Because it's like the 08 recovery was crazy.
Yeah.
It went so low in 08. Within 5 years, 7 years, you doubled your money, tripled your money.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's still banking on that. Like, oh, recession hits, it just happens for a couple of years and we bounce back instantly.
Yeah. And I think there will be an opportunity to buy certain things. I think people think it's happening next month. And it's not happening next month. It may not happen this year, frankly. It may be a next year thing. And what I think that people who are talking about what does the recovery look like don't understand is so much of a big city like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and Miami are built on tourism. International tourism. So much of our economy, so much of retail sales, restaurant businesses, airports, so much of our economy is based on global tourism. That is gone.
And is gone for the foreseeable future.
Okay, so that is gone. We know, we all said domestic travel will increase. Okay, but that's if it's convenient to get to. Okay, a city like Los Angeles, sure, maybe someone as far as Seattle and far east as Texas will come. People from like Maryland are not going to drive to LA to just hang out here for the weekend. And so I just think that like, we're not accounting for like even restaurants or retail or a lot of industries are not accounting for the lack of influx of tourism, business travel. So much of that is what drives business revenue in a local economy, and it's gone. It is fucking gone.
Yeah, and it's just like to get back to it, like and all like LA is a city of small business owners, and we know small businesses have been completely ravaged. It's inevitable that people are going to have to sell their homes to continue to finance their life. And if they have to sell their homes, it's going to come down because it becomes a buyer's market. They just keep waiting them out. Wait everything out and you'll have a discount.
Yeah.
But don't you think everyone's ready to jump the second that the home goes down 10%? Everyone's like,
but the universe of buyers is going to go down too, because the person who hasn't bought that $2 to $3 million house that can afford it will be like, you know what? I don't want to tie up $500K in an asset.
Yeah, because I think you as a single person with cash are going to treat it differently than like a family of four. They're just like, do we really want to put a down payment on this? Like, we're kids. We don't know what expenses. We don't know how our life is going to look. People are going to treat it differently, and I think the time of pain is actually going to take quite long to actually affect society.
Yeah.
So really interesting. And then you take New York, the mayor came out and said, he goes, we don't see a real reopen until September.
So is he not talking to the California governor, or is he like, how is it such different?
Because New York is New York City, specifically the city, is a different beast. They're dealing with very high cases of infection, high cases of death. They have to treat it very differently. I don't think New York City can reopen like LA can reopen.
Yeah, I mean, just structurally, the way the city is built, it's just not even. I mean, just the way people live, the way people walk down the street. Like LA can have a resemblance of an opening. I just don't see how. I mean, New York already has 56 to 60% of the deaths and cases in the country. So what's going to happen when you reopen?
Yeah, it's New York is really going to be a tougher place to really get back to normal.
And we have a few rich friends in New York City that have all fled, and they have zero interest in ever going back in a permanent way.
Yeah.
Like they may keep their place in New York and pop in and out, but it's never going to be a 7-day week. If you're a wealthy New Yorker, the idea of spending 7 days a week in New York City is gone.
Well, that was an idea that was crazy before. If you have money, why would you want to live in New York City? It's so gross.
No, but if you're really rich, you can solve a lot of the things, right? You have a driver.
Okay. You still have to sit in traffic anywhere you go.
Let me sit in traffic here.
Yeah.
Not as bad.
You make your life small, right? Like people that live in downtown New York, like Soho, Tribeca area, they do not leave.
Yeah.
They're not going to Midtown. They're not going to in the 50s to do anything.
Yeah. Disgusting.
That's what a person in Soho or Tribeca would say.
Yeah. I don't even want to go up there when I'm just in New York City, unless it's for a meeting. But yeah, I mean, I think New York City is going to really have a challenge in reopening. That's why even there was an article in New York Post talking about out of work chefs in New York. They found work. Billionaires are hiring.
Someone's got to feed Ackman.
Yeah, I mean, Ackman probably has 11 Madison Park, which is one of the most famous restaurants in New York City, is considering not reopening, like saying that we're shut permanently because we just don't. It doesn't make sense. People still like their food. Billionaires have not really been affected.
No,
and they probably made money, so they can essentially kind of keep the workforce of high-end chefs busy at least.
And it's a flex. I have some friends whose dads are billionaires, and they love saying, "Oh, we have the chef from this restaurant who is our personal chef."
Yeah,
it's like almost owning a sports team. You can only one person can own the chef from this restaurant.
Well, for billionaires, it's like owning slaves.
Yeah,
which is like owning a sports team.
Yeah. Was it Billions or one of the shows where they had like Nobu just cooking?
Yeah, that's the ultimate flex. I have Nobu.
But it's interesting. I mean, it's crazy. Like, why I still think when this is all over and the stories are told, there are so many iterations of the pandemic experience. There's the single young person. There's the family. There's someone that was infected, someone whose family member's infected. Then there's billionaires who are living, probably having the craziest lives and still continuing their fuckery.
So apparently at Yellowstone Club, they test at the gate. You're clear, you get let in, and it's a party.
Because everyone's good.
Yeah, you test positive. You clear, you're good.
Is all the staff staying within the property then?
The staff is tested daily.
Okay.
Wow. So I don't know where they're staying. I have no idea where they house them.
They're probably hugging and kissing.
Oh, it must be just a complete party.
Yeah, big orgy. The other thing that's happening is we talked about this. There's a meat shortage that people were warning that could potentially happen. Looks like it's here. Wendy's, the powerhouse fast food chain, has in certain restaurants started saying they are out of hamburgers.
Where's the beef?
That is a great question. And so the beef issue is real, and people are now, the panic has set in. I don't know I think the meat shortage might be bigger than the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's been pretty vocal about this too, tweeting like, we are not shutting down our meat plants. Go open.
Yeah.
I don't have the data, but I don't know if this is a woke take or the data is actually true. So they're saying Trump's saying that because it's all immigrants and minorities that work at the meat plant, so he doesn't give a fuck.
I had someone reach out to me on LinkedIn who knew a potato farmer. in the middle of the country, and the supply chain, they had 2 million potatoes, and they couldn't do anything with them. And they were just like giving them away for free because they couldn't sell them to any restaurants. No one was taking them.
Oh,
and
interesting.
he wanted to start a potato e-commerce company that was selling potatoes for like pennies on a dollar because this guy would give away 2 million potatoes for free.
I would love that. I'd buy online potatoes.
How many potatoes would you buy?
I'd probably buy, like, for my family, 12.
But the thing is, to ship 12 potatoes probably costs more than the cost of the potatoes.
That's his problem. That's not my problem. I'm just
you
saying
want
I'm in the
free
market.
shipping.
I'm in the market for 12 potatoes
That's a lot of potatoes.
because I have an air fryer now, so I'd make French fries.
Ah, nice.
A lot of French fries.
I will go in on 6 more with you. We can split.
So this guy, I think he sent me an article later about it. This farmer was literally giving away 2 million potatoes, and you could just go pick them up. Whoever was out there. People were
Where was it?
somewhere in like Oklahoma or something. I got to find the article.
I mean, if it was Oklahoma, I can pick up my oil, pick up my potatoes.
Free Joe Exotic.
But this meat shortage is saying, Wendy's is saying 1/5 of their restaurants have ran out of beef.
I mean, you have to imagine there should be supply chain issues across the board for anything that requires people to work
For sure.
that are working in close quarters because there is going to be quarantine. I mean, contagious. Like Rock and Roll Ralph's. Did we talk about this on the last pod?
I think we might have.
How they had 20 workers infected.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
And I think it's funny is that people are blaming the workers. Like, we don't know where they go.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, no, we should be concerned about where the disgusting people who shop at Ralph's went.
Right. Yeah,
I run by that Ralph's. There's a lot of questionable folks. There's a reason why it's called Rock and Roll Ralph's.
that's a good point.
The other thing we're learning is that coronavirus is causing some other symptoms. And one of them is damaging blood clots from brain to the toes. So there's been skin lesions on the feet, sometimes called COVID toe, that show that you potentially have corona. So you should look it up, but it's like pretty nasty shit that's happening on people's feet that's causing
So we shouldn't
a
look it up. That sounds disgusting.
Well, if you have an issue, you might want to get, if your toes are fucked up.
It's basically corona can work in so many different ways.
Yeah.
If it gets bad, it's just completely debilitating.
There's that, I don't know if you've been following the story of the couple that have a young child. Nick Cordero is his name. He got infected with the virus. They live in LA, and he's in a coma, ended up getting infected, and then had a blood clot in his leg. They amputated his leg.
Oh my God.
He's still, I don't think is awake yet. He's on a ventilator. Like, I mean, does this guy wake up? What does he wake up to? What does he remember? I mean, it's like, I think the blood clot thing is definitely, I don't know his previous symptoms. Like, was he a diabetic? Did he have, like, I just think if you're high risk, this is such an accelerator of death.
But is it all correlated to corona? Like, aren't there a lot of deaths and a lot of things that are happening? It's like, corona can give you blood clots, like, or these people are already getting blood clots.
No, but
and
I
we're
think
blaming corona.
Yeah, I think what Dee's trying to say is like, if you already have one of these diseases that is somewhat debilitating, corona just 10x's it.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part. For sure, for a healthy guy, it's a bad flu for 2 weeks or 5 days, whatever the number, because it's range, right? We know people that are sick for 4 days that had it versus like 2 weeks and had to be in the hospital. But if you do have one of these underlying conditions, it's like steroids to make your life
even worse.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to see, but you're learning more and more about how wild this virus really is. Something we touched on earlier when it comes down to retail sales and tourism. So Hong Kong reported retail sales fell by 42% in March from the year earlier. In March, they were still quarantining. So that is pretty much something that's expected. April is what we're really looking at, because in April, things started to reopen in Hong Kong. But, Hong Kong's another city that's a great example of heavy tourism that thrives in that city.
Like, Hong Kong's a city where the Louis Vuitton store has lines around the block no matter when.
Oh, and there's 20 Louis Vuitton stores.
Yeah,
there's not
crazy.
one. There's just one like every block. And I think the fact that mainland China people are probably not hopping on a ferry or a flight to go to Hong Kong.
Right.
That travel's gone. There's no American or European travelers. I think the biggest thing people are discounting is that I would love for a major retailer or a restaurateur to say how much of their business is accounted by tourism.
Yeah, in a city like that, it's got to be the majority.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been to Hong Kong. There's so many expats. Like, you can walk down the street in Hong Kong and only see white people.
Yeah. That's why I think the devastating impact of tourism on the global economy has not been accounted for. I just don't think people realize, like, New York City. I remember Herald Square, they said like 50% was tourism or something crazy. That's like the Macy's in the, not far from Times Square. And because like no one local is shopping there.
No.
Remember the bull case for Macy's was like, oh, the real estate is worth so much. Now the real estate's worthless.
Yeah.
So your retail's worthless and your real estate's worthless.
I mean, you saw Jake, we talked about a week ago that J. Crew was mulling bankruptcy. They've officially filed.
Yeah.
They don't own their real estate, but like these retail concepts, I think it's going to get ugly extremely quickly.
Yep.
Extremely quickly. Onto some politics. Donald Trump, smart move here. He has banned Dr. Fauci from testifying to the House on coronavirus.
Is he even allowed to do this?
Yeah, I don't know if he's allowed, but this is a genius move, and I'll tell you why. This guy is honest, Abe, right? He can't lie.
Fauci.
No.
He's not lying. He's 79. He's been a doctor his entire career.
Yeah.
He's no interest in lying.
So the best move is ban him.
At what point did the relationship get so sour with Donald and Fauci? Because Fauci was his little shiny toy he was showing off at first.
Because I think
when the news didn't get better,
Yeah.
and Fauci kept saying like, "Hey guys, we're not even close. Debts are gonna pile. If you guys don't do this, if we don't socially distance, keep the states closed." And then Trump's like, "Fuck that. We want the boaters out there."
And then Fauci just got like a ban. He got muted.
Yeah, he basically got kicked to the curb.
He did what Pete did to you on our segment.
Correct.
Yeah, lockdown.
And then, do you think Fauci like regrets being involved in this, like ruining his career and making his public name for this?
I don't think he ruined his career. I think he became a rock star. I mean, I think there's a percentage of the population, the dummies, that don't even know.
I mean, think about it. You're a 79-year-old doctor that no one has ever heard of. Then you've come into the spotlight, and within 7 weeks, Brad Pitt is impersonating you on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And the woke crowd love him, right?
Yeah, the woke crowd. And Brad
love
Pitt
him.
thanked him
Yeah.
after impersonating him.
I think there's an
Winner of the year, Fauci.
yeah. I mean, he definitely has created like something about, his, at the end of the day, he's a doctor. He's being honest. He's not trying to like scare people. He's just giving you facts and information. If you get scared and you run with the information in an incorrect way, that's on you.
And what does it even matter to him? Like at this point, he's already
Yeah, he's got
like
security
well-known.
now.
Yeah,
He's
and then
good.
what does it matter? He's old. It's not like he needs to become a star or anything like that. Like he
No,
needs
but
to
I
become
think,
a doctor. And
I
be
mean,
a doctor.
the problem is now he's getting pressure from the president of the United States.
Right.
And so President Trump is continuously saying that the Democrats don't want us to reopen. The Democrats want us to, and so that rhetoric is working because you have idiots in cheap boats in Newport Harbor yelling out, "Open up our country," because they're saying Democrats, like you can't have a shitty boat and say that. I'm sorry. You got to have a hot boat.
You gotta
got
have
like
a
a big
fat
yacht
boat.
If you got like a Larry Ellison boat and you have a big sign that says "Open up our country," I'm like, you know what? That guy has a big boat.
He's got
Or
a big
Jerry
boat.
Jones.
David
He's got a
Geffen,
big
Jerry
yacht.
Jones does it. I'm okay with it. David Geffen can do it. You keep me on a dinghy.
To be fair, every boat had a Trump flag on it. Not the big boats and the small boats.
I know.
Just the small boats were chanting.
So
and every
what about
house-
your boat?
Our boat, we did not have a Trump flag on it.
I'm sure
It
the
was
guy
a
that
rental.
owns it. Oh, it was a rental. Okay.
Yeah. If it wasn't a rental,
Do they give you a flag along with the rental?
yeah.
Here's your keys and your Trump flag.
Yeah, you get the keys. You had to choose if you wanted tuna turkey sandwiches and a Trump or Biden flag.
There's no Biden,
there's
right?
no way.
Can you
No.
imagine what would happen? Would they just get
We were
like,
joking. We're like,
Capsized?
what would happen if we put a Biden flag up there? Because
wow.
when you see the Trump boats pass each other, they're honking and being like, "Yeah, make America great again!" Like they're screaming at each other and like cheering. Like if we pass them with a Biden flag,
So here's the thing: Newport Beach, from my understanding, is rich people.
Yeah.
So you
extremely.
tell me, are these the rich people from Newport that are the boaters as well?
Newport is rich people, but it's very MAGA. I don't care what it doesn't matter the economic status.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just like when you're rich, the assumption is you have some underlying competence. You just want to open up the country and ravage the hospitals.
Yeah, because it's good for business.
I guess.
What do you care? It's definitely super interesting seeing how Fauci's kind of legacy gets really thrown out.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, go for it. You got an ad here.
And we are back here for the ads, guys.
Oh,
now,
God.
I have had big reports. This is the best part of the show, so we're going to keep it that way. Guys, today's sponsor is Lunar Mail. Okay, guys, so Lunar Mail is really great for all things online, especially when you're trying to buy stuff. Like the other day, I was trying to buy this new video game so I could go play with Drama.
What game?
COD. But the new COD. No. Call of Duty.
Oh, Call of Duty.
Take two steps
What
back.
kind of games are you and Drama playing with each other?
But the big issue is that every time I put my email in, I just get run up with all the emails afterwards. You have to go and subscribe, do all of that. Guys, the Lunar Mail is here to solve that for you. If you head over there to lunarmail.io and use promo code GroupChat, I don't know what it gets you, but I heard it's really, really, really good. The guy told me it's great, but I forgot what it gets you. So at least head over there, use it so I can keep my job. But Lunar Mail is really great because it allows you to keep the privacy with a disposable email address.
I'll tell you where I've been using it recently is news sites that I end up stumbling on, and I just don't want to give them
because they just start spamming the shit out of you.
Yeah, so
Right.
I wanted to see some local newspaper. I forgot who had the article somewhere in Miami, maybe Miami Herald, and they asked me for the email. I was like, all right, here you go. Here's Lunar Mail. Don't bother me.
Yeah, I start using it on everything I buy online because you don't want a message from this company that you bought one software product from once saying, here's how we're handling COVID-19. It's like, dude, I don't care how you're handling COVID-19. Don't email
Why
me.
does everyone want to tell us how you're handling COVID-19? No one cares.
No
They
one
think
cares.
it's like the most important thing.
I loved that when that first came out. Everybody that you didn't know you were subscribed to emailed you. And
I don't want to hear from Feet Socks about COVID-19.
Well, first of all, we did not do that at all. Second of all, Feet is actually featured as a case study on lunarmail.io.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Saying if you want to buy, get the 10% off from Feet, and you don't want to get any of our emails and screw up our whole marketing, go use that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think Young and Reckless is featured as well. But
Okay,
It's the anti-top of funnel approach.
yeah, exactly. So if you want to buy stuff from Feet, we have a 10% off light box on our site, feetsocks.com, plug, feetclothing.com as well. We just rebranded it. That being said, go there. When you want to enter your email, use Lunar Mail, and then we'll never be able to send you emails again. We can't retarget you on Facebook, and you can just take advantage of our code.
And I mean, especially for you people that dislike Taylor, you don't want to
screw him.
You barely want to hear him on the podcast. You definitely don't want emails from him.
Yeah. Here's your chance, people. Now's the opportunity.
But if you do want emails from me, check out the newsletter. Go to melrosestreetjournal.com and sign up for the newsletter because I do spend a lot of time on those emails every day. Back to the ad, Pete. Tell us more about Lunar Mail.
Guys, so keep your online activity private and don't let those companies track you online. Head over to lunarmail.io. Promo code GroupChat.
Yep.
And if this is the most excited you get for the podcast to listen to Pete's ads, I don't know if this is the right podcast for you.
We thought about starting my own podcast where I just do ad reads for like 10 minutes. Pays for itself.
Great concept.
Definitely pays for itself. I don't know if anyone's advertising that.
Well, we advertise on behind closed doors, and Pete keeps 100% of ad revenue.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, what is he getting? Like loose bottles of Costa Brava?
And I was getting that beforehand, so I'm really making like nothing.
If anyone wants to support Pete on behind closed doors,
Yeah,
you could
send him some
advertise.
free shit.
Come over. Yeah, well, We're Not Really Strangers sponsored me.
Oh, well, what'd you get?
Sweatshirt that I asked Drama for. So I don't know, sponsor,
Begging.
loosely tossed around.
So check out Lunar Mail, lunarmail.io.
Cool. Back to the episode.
Great ad read on Lunar Mail, Pete.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why they're so good.
I love Lunar Mail. I've been sending fake emails, signing up for things all over the internet.
The amount of porn sites that I'm finding now that I can just throw Lunar Mail into, it's amazing.
So
It's
if you
great.
tuned in to the pod to listen to Pete's ads and that's all you care about, you can turn it off now.
No, they're literally, people are like, I fuck these guys, I'm over them. I only come for your ads.
All right,
And
we'll
I
see
don't
you
blame
later.
them.
We'll see you on the next episode.
So head over to lunarmail.io and we'll see you later.
At least cash in these advertisements and then just come back tomorrow.
Someone that has effectively become the Kim Kardashian of, I don't know, business, Elon Musk.
I'd say Donald Trump.
No, because I'll tell you, Donald Trump is most of his stuff. It's close to Donald Trump. There's still like, Elon Musk is now throwing in like he just had a child. We're not getting that from Trump.
Right.
We always get a kid every year from a
where's Barron?
Kardashian. What?
Where's little Baron?
Yeah.
Little Baron's like 6'5" now.
Yeah, bro, he's so fucking tall.
There's like some picture of him. He's like 6'5". They're like,
But he was like a little kid when Trump came into office.
that was 4 years ago.
It's true.
He's literally like
he's like-
an NBA center right now.
Yeah.
The kid is a monster.
Little Baron's getting D1 scholarships.
Even
If he ever played basketball in a college,
Oh my God, he wouldn't make it out of there alive.
you would kill him.
it's crazy because even I know presidents try to keep their kids away from the spotlight, but even we saw Sasha and Malia do appearances and whatnot. Is Barron anywhere in these pictures?
I haven't seen him since election day when he was standing there all uncomfortable. That's the last time I think he's been. in the
I think
ministry.
Donald doesn't really let his wife really. She don't speak or know good English.
Because
This guy represents the whitest American people and has like a foreign hooker as a wife.
It's true.
You just called the first lady a foreign hooker.
I mean,
Was she not?
yeah. But Elon Musk continues to stay in the press. He vowed last week to sell most of his possessions, and he put up a couple of Bel Air homes for $40 million on the market. So he wants to dump those.
so where's he going to move to?
He has 7 houses in LA.
That's a lot.
All like right next to each other in Bel Air, too, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has like 5 houses in Bel Air.
Yeah, he has so much real estate. So maybe he just wants to get rid of these. Then he's shoring up some cash. Like, who's going to buy those houses?
I think you'll get some weird rich person just to say they own Elon Musk's house.
Yeah.
Because they would use that as a conversation piece. Like, I bought Elon Musk's house.
Although Michael Jordan's house has been sitting for like 10 years. Have you seen that?
The one in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's bought it?
No one.
Wow.
Because, who needs that big of a house?
And it's all custom, like 23 everywhere, like Michael Jordan.
That's
everywhere.
Chicago though. Like
Chicago's kind of tight.
There's a lot of rich people in Chicago.
they
No,
don't.
there are.
No. I agree, but it's just like that would be more of an LA thing to like take over.
Take over Jordan's house.
Right. If that was in LA, that would
That'd be
snap
more
up
of
in
an
a
honor thing
second.
to take over Jordan's
I'd
house.
love to own Jordan's house. If I ever got rich enough.
Can I put a bid in?
So the other piece.
If it guaranteed a couple meet and greets, a hang, get 2 Chicago Bulls behind the scenes stories.
Oh, D's got that.
So he bought these houses for $24 million. He's trying to dump them for 40. We'll see what happens. And somehow, I didn't even know this, his girlfriend Grimes is pregnant and they had a kid.
Yeah, that was so low key.
When do you think they had the kid? I know the pictures just came out.
No, he just said. So we went on the Twitter rant, and one of them he replied, and he goes, "Baby on the way soon."
So I think it was birth
One of the
yesterday.
replies. Yeah.
Wow. So
No,
he
he,
had the
legit
meltdown
just-
during probably labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably.
So
why
maybe
he's
it
having
wasn't
a
an
meltdown.
acid trip. It was a labor
Yeah.
trip.
Will labor do that to you?
Labor's intense.
Yeah, very intense. Yeah.
From a male's perspective.
It's a very intense experience. Not really for the men. But, he gave a name to this child. Unclear how you pronounce it. Pete, do you know all the...
No, somebody was trying to explain it to
Can
me.
you spell it?
No, I don't even know what that is. It's not even like
It's like a symbol that when you accidentally hold the shift key
Yes.
and push like another button on your computer,
I think he's
That's-
making this up.
you're just like, what does this mean?
So it
But
says like XAEA-12 is unclear what
So
that
it's like
means.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. So
he's just the ultimate troll.
yeah. So who knows? I mean, I'm sure he's just doing it to just cause a stir and get attention.
And it's working.
Yeah. But I do expect a very unique name for his child.
Oh yeah, I can't. Yeah,
Because
no,
his
no.
wife is super out there too, right? Pretty
Yeah.
funky.
Yeah.
Grimes. Yeah.
Grimes is
You know,
out
I
there.
never have sympathy for being born into a billionaire family. I think I have sympathy for this child
I think
because
he
you're forced into
7
this, like-
kids. I think they have 6.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
got a
6.
bunch.
He has,
Oh, he has other kids?
he
Yeah,
has
he's got a
5
bunch.
boys.
What?
5 or 6
Yeah.
boys.
As of when?
From his previous marriage.
Wow. Interesting.
He really went off the deep end in the last 5 years. This is not he was just a normal tech nerd, maybe, occasional Burning Man orgy, but nothing crazy.
You remember my Vegas story of seeing Elon Musk? This is now 2012. So it's pre-Elon Musk being a famous person, not even recognizable. We were at the Cosmopolitan Hotel. I was at a bachelor party. Bunch of Indians.
They obviously knew him.
They knew him. They were the only people that recognized him. A bunch of
It's
tech
dorks.
Indians. They were like, holy shit, that's Elon Musk. And then I had to double take, and I was like, oh, that is. He wasn't this
Mythical feature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So one of our friends walks over. He's just sitting with his girlfriend, who was the actress at the time. His girlfriend, remember he had an actress girlfriend?
Okay, I don't remember.
Whatever. They were sitting at like the taco spot by Marquee Club. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No one's around them. Our friend goes up to him and says, "Hey man, just want to say like you're like an inspiration. Like try to be really nice and give a compliment." And Elon Musk shined him.
What do you say?
Just like get away from me. He was a dick.
Seems on brand.
That seems
So he's just been a dick even before he was famous. It's not like, so fame just isn't, the saying is fame just brings out who you really are.
Yeah.
So it just made him just like this arrogant asshole.
Yeah,
Like he
I
always
believe that.
was.
I mean, I don't think anyone would say and I haven't heard anyone say he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like fighting with people on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Like fighting with like the lowest of the internet trolls.
Yeah.
Like not even normal people.
Yeah. So best of luck for your new child.
How do you pronounce it?
And hopefully you guys, raise a healthy, smart, kind young man.
It's going to be smart. We know that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have, he has good genes. Let's say that. Speaking of Burning Man orgies,
It's a great transition.
Burning Man is going virtual this year. They're taking it digital so everyone can attend. And the hype is that there's going to be other conference apps and chats where the people will be doing X-rated potential sex parties and drug parties on them.
Cool.
I mean, this is going to be a home run.
Yeah, Pete's going to Burning Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm all in.
So this was actually gonna be the first year I was gonna go to Burning Man.
Really?
I'm not now.
Well, you can.
No,
Well,
you
not
can't
it's not
virtual.
gonna be the same virtually.
Why? Just virtually do some drugs and have an orgy.
Virtual orgies and drugs are not as fun.
I don't think the orgy is virtual. I think you videotape and you share it within your community. Pete's
Cool.
into that.
I'm into that. Nice.
But Burning Man is one of those things I think is really stupid. But, I also go to Coachella. I like the commercial aspect of Coachella.
Yeah, like burners probably think we're stupid for going to Coachella.
Yeah, because it's like you go, to go like let loose and discover yourself. Like, lucky for me, I know who I am, so I don't give a shit about discovering. But
Who are you?
Yeah.
I mean, I am. I'm right here. You see who I am.
Everyone who's gone to Burning Man who I've talked to, it says it changes your perception on everything.
But
On
why do
reality,
they
on
still
yourself.
act the same when they come back? For 2 days, they talk about this.
That's
and they go
true.
back into their regular life being the same piece of shit they were when they left. If you came out of, like, if Elon Musk went to Burning Man and all of a sudden that nerdy Indian guy comes up to him and takes a picture with him and goes, "You know what, nerdy Indian? That's really nice of you that you gave me that nice comment. I appreciate that I inspired you." No, instead, shoo.
Exactly.
No one changes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Burning Man, it changes you permanently. It changes you for 4 days.
Yeah,
And
it's
you
just
come-
the drugs talking.
Yeah, and then you come out of
it's
it.
still in your system.
I would prefer if any person, I've never been, I know tons of people who do go, just say it's a great escape for a week.
Yes.
And leave it at that. You do not come home and say, "Oh my God, I'm going to be a better," you may say that, you're not going to do it.
Because we would have better people in the world because there's 100,000 people going to Burning Man every year. There's not
also-
100,000 better people on Earth.
And a large portion of that is Silicon Valley, and I don't think Silicon Valley's gotten any better year over year.
No.
I agree.
I would
Still
actually
gonna go.
I want a directory of everyone to go to Burning Man, and I'll be like, nah, that guy's a piece of shit. And I want Burning Man to put out a directory of every single person to go, and I will go and rank every single person I've met of how, if they're a better person post Burning
Because
Man.
it's so like arrogant, like what they're doing is so intellectual and expressing themselves.
You're
and it's just-
doing drugs and having orgies. That does not give you clarity. It's just
like,
fun.
Like, and then, but these are the same
Let's be
people
real
that
about this.
look down at Coachella and say, "Oh, like that's not for me. It's too mainstream." No, just have fun, enjoy yourself at Burning Man. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's why I think Burning Man is stupid. If they didn't tell me the nonsense of like talking down to us Coachella people,
yeah, yeah.
This is the equivalent of like a female in college studying abroad.
What do you mean?
Or anybody studying abroad really in college. I mean, they come back from this 3-month excursion and they're like, that changed my whole
Yeah,
life.
because they were looking up with high Italian guys, and they were like, "That's way better than Pete. That's way better than Pete."
Yeah, they're drinking fancy wine and pizza.
doing drugs and having orgies abroad.
Yeah, it's literally the equivalent of these like people coming back, and then it's like
I get it.
changed my life.
But
Within weeks they're back.
Yeah, of
they're like
course.
coming back smoking cigs, and it's like, all right, that's not really
I think
you.
it does. Doing anything like something like a Coachella or traveling or Burning Man, it gives you perspective. I agree. I like it for that.
Absolutely.
I just don't like people telling me like you're gonna change your life. You're gonna discover yourself. Like you don't
Just go
I
for
think you
fun.
have to go
Stop talking
so you
about
you could confirm if it changes your life.
I would go just to make all the people I'm with miserable. That's what I would go to do.
You're such a
I would go and just drive everyone nuts.
I like it. Ruin some burners.
If I can go and ruin a camp,
Do the live stream.
ruin a camp.
You sound like the worst person to ever do drugs.
I want someone to bring me on their private jet. I will ruin your
I
camp
have
for
to
you.
wear their weird costumes.
I will wear a full-on costume.
I think you should jump on the virtual one and just see how many people's virtual Burning Man you could ruin. Hey, you fucking loser. Burning Man sucks.
Then we get
You're not
everything
gonna-
just canceled.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, that was that. On to some tech and business news. So the burners are unfortunately off to a slow start this year. Their businesses are just flying by the wayside. Airbnb is just announced 25% layoff.
So that 25% probably couldn't afford Burning Man, so they're probably super happy about
That's
this virtual
virtual.
experience.
Yes, and that's this is the beginning. And Airbnb is the most obvious company that will suffer during a pandemic, right? We obviously know what the travel industry is facing. This one, I think, is a real scary tune into where we're heading in the startup economy. Lime Scooters is in talks with Uber to raise $170 million at an 80% discount of their last round.
Just insane.
No, but so it's even funnier. So Emil Michael, who was the COO of Uber, I think he was COO, whatever, he was one of the top 3 guys. He's no longer with the company. Tweeted the article, question mark, saying like, what the fuck are you doing, Uber?
Yeah.
Like, why are you giving them $175 million?
So I didn't know they had $175 million to give.
And
First of all.
what's even funnier, a Lime investor I know anonymously says, I feel like we're United Airlines. We have no competitive advantage. We really have no reason to be better than the next person. We're getting a bailout from the government.
Yeah, what I don't understand is to replicate what Lime is today is really easy.
Yeah.
So
So
you
a
can-
bunch of scooters all around.
No, you can't. No one's even writing. You don't have to do anything. You're Lime, Pete's Lime. Pete is operating more efficiently than Lime. He has one scooter that is operating daily. Lime has
And
0.
if you would like to rent it out, you can go ahead and give me a call.
Exactly. You could call it Pete's. I bet you if you start a scooter company called Pete's, you had 10 scooters, they'd be busy.
Yeah, you just pick them up every day.
I'm just saying, like, and here's the thing about scooters. I'm gonna be honest. I think post-vaccine, scooter business will be hot again. I think until there's a vaccine, scooter business is 0.
I don't think it's going to be hot because scooters were hot for a minute. It was a fun novelty.
I disagree as someone that use it for more functional reasons.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
But even you said-
Micro mobility is going to be so important in this new we're going to stay close to home mentality, right? So it may not be a scooter, but the idea of going somewhere in short distances, sub 1 mile, is going to become more and more important.
And I actually think even with the absence of traffic, I wish I had a scooter to just come to the office. Even though that there's 0 traffic and take me 2 seconds. It's like, it'd be fun just to like, it's just less friction going to my garage, turning on my car, backing out, as opposed to just walking outside, getting a
Opening
scooter
your
and go.
app, trying to find a scooter somewhere, walking to the scooter. That's friction too. There might not be one close.
So
Yeah.
I
Might not be
actually was on
charged.
Twitter the other day and I saw this Asian company that has these mopeds that have rechargeable batteries and they have stations all over. And this could be like an additional concept that comes to America, but that like you can drive around, you just drive up, you literally just pull them out, replace them, they're already charged, and you keep on going.
Like a
And do you know how
So now it
dumb?
becomes-
No, sorry,
Yeah.
finish it.
That just electric, vehicles that are
Yeah.
expanding. Then it's like you no longer need to rent, but you can just have replaceable batteries ready for you to go.
Right. So what's Uber thinking? That their brand matters?
Because Uber could just roll this out.
Exactly. If Uber invested $175 million in their own scooter product, Don't you think it's a better use of money?
Yeah. I
So
mean,
they're just complete morons.
what do you need 175 million? Like 175 million can buy, how much is a scooter? Let's say it's $1,000.
No, dude, way cheaper than
No,
that.
no. The scooters that Bird and Lime were using, I think were $600 to $700, but then you have replacement costs
Yeah.
and whatever.
Okay. So how many scooters can you buy? You can buy hundreds of thousands of scooters.
I think because Uber has already solved the tech part, which is the app and finding the location of the fucking scooter. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, no one said they were a good company.
175,000 scooters.
What?
$1,000 a cost at 175
It took
million.
you that long to do that math?
No, I was typing something else. Don't worry
It's
about
definitely on your calculator right there.
it. 1,000%.
Just next time, just
But this
move a
is
zero.
moronic. This is dumber than I even thought.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, it's going to get dumber.
But weren't these scooter companies just insanely overvalued?
Absolutely.
Isn't this just like $2 billion for Lime was insane?
But the problem is
You know what's funny? Between Airbnb a year ago, you could not find secondary stock. So every big family office, rich family office, hedge funds were all trying to buy Airbnb stock, and no Airbnb shareholder would sell. And Airbnb wouldn't even allow their investors to sell because they got too cocky.
Yeah.
And now I bet you can find Airbnb stock at any point. What was even more shocking was when Bird was a year in and they saw that initial growth, people were getting so cocky, Bird shareholders, they wouldn't sell at $2.1 billion valuation. Would
Insane.
not sell.
Yeah. Now they're probably begging to sell at 80% haircut.
Begging. And who's going
I'm
to pay
looking-
that? Who's dumber than Uber to pay that?
I'm looking for Lime stock. I'm willing to pay it a $50 million valuation. I'll buy it all day.
But
That seems high.
It's 90% lower than Uber. I'll just sell it back to them.
because-
I'll buy $1 million of Lime stock and flip it back to Uber. Just idiots. The other kind of breaking news: Disney just reported earnings. Reports a 58% drop in operating income. Shocking. Parks and cruises are their kind of biggest challenging businesses. This is the first earning call for their new CEO, Bob Chapek. And I haven't listened to the earnings call, so I don't have too much data, but the media business was up.
You know,
Parks, experiences, and products was only down 10% because it only reflects through March. So February sales are really, I mean,
so this is really not really reflective of anything.
no, it's because we don't know what April looks like. April is the
This
real.
is the scam. This
Yeah.
is the stock market earnings scam.
And the stock
So we
is-
got to wait till next.
That's why I think everyone
Cycle.
thought that this was the earnings season. It's the next one because
Yeah.
you get April and you get May. We know April's zero, half of May is shut. In their business, it's a completely
And
shut.
June's going to be screwed too.
So it's really about shorting these stocks for the next
cycle.
quarter.
And China dunking on us is Shanghai Disneyland reopening May 11th.
That's good for Disney. Yeah. So if you have an itch to see the mouse, hop on a plane and go to Shanghai.
Go to Shanghai. You're going to get quarantined by the government for 14 days. Then you can go see the mouse.
Yeah.
You have to be really dedicated to see that mouse.
I mean,
There's some crazy Disney fans.
you know how many people have like season passes?
Like
No, a lot of
grown-ups too,
people.
like adults who are obsessed
Without
with-
kids?
Yeah,
A
who are
lot
like,
of
it's, like,
adults.
scary, dude.
I'm sure a lot of
I know
people.
a lot of families who have
It's
season
like
pass.
culty. These
Will any adult who has a season pass that does not have kids, nephews, nieces, or any kids they
No,
have
but they'll use. You can't say nephew and nieces because they'll just use that as. I'm saying you're just a weirdo that goes to Disneyland.
I want to hear from that person.
There's a lot, dude.
A lot.
Especially like in
What, they
Orange
just-
County, like where Disneyland is.
How creepy would it be if they're like in the Frozen line trying to meet
They are,
Elsa.
Elsa?
actually, if you've ever been to Disneyland, you see these people. It's scary. They have
There's a
like
lot of
ears, they're all
like
dressed up.
20-something-year-old couples.
Yeah,
that-
Disney couples.
That just like obsessed with the mouse and they just go every Friday
It's
night.
like scary.
Yeah, that's like date night to go to Disneyland. I've said it here many times before. My last Disney trip was June 1998.
No way.
Yeah, a grad night.
I went once in college and then grad night.
That's so lame. Disneyland's awesome.
Disneyland's
Is
really
it?
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
pretty
been how many years since 1998? 22 years.
You should wait. You don't want to take Dom ever?
I am avoiding teaching him any Disney stuff.
Why?
He doesn't want to have
I
to
don't
go.
want to go to Disneyland. I don't want to go to Disneyland.
Pete made a money thing like cheap.
I don't mind Legoland.
That's San
Disneyland
Diego?
is so much cooler than Legoland.
It's just gross, Disneyland.
Disneyland's awesome.
Disneyland's awesome.
I just don't want to be like in like. I want like our friend Jaleel had like a very VIP.
Yeah, you can do
nice.
that.
Disney World's gross because that's in Florida. Disneyland is at least a little bit better in Anaheim.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not too keen on going on either. And nor do I have to worry about it because it's not going to be open anytime soon. The other company that reported earnings today is Beyond Meat. Sales are surging. They even showed a profit. So this is a company we've been talking about since they went public. Huge fan of the brand, huge fan of the product. They saw their grocery demand tick up so much that it actually overcame the lack of business from the restaurants. So this is an interesting. I actually thought a company like Beyond, which was still heavily reliant on the restaurant side of their business, they made it all up on the grocery side. This is when the CEO of Impossible back in the day wasn't really focused on the grocery side and focused on restaurants.
Right.
Now Impossible is rolling out to grocery stores. But with the lack of meat that's out there, it's a lot easier to scale fake meat than it is to.
Absolutely.
So
if this meat shortage is real and it starts to compound, because you got to imagine it compounds. If a plant's closed for a couple weeks and then reopens, they're already behind.
Yeah.
And we're not even seeing the supply shock yet. Like Wendy's is the first thing we're hearing about, but it should be like.
I'm curious to see at what point does your regular Wendy's burger guy say, fuck it, give me a Beyond. I want to try it.
Never.
I think they just go to chicken.
Fish. There's so many. I don't know about fish. That burger guy's not going to fish.
Isn't fish fillet a big thing?
Oh yeah, they love those McDonald's fish fillets.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
No, like like the people who eat at these restaurants love the Chick-fil-A's. Trust me.
He's like, trust me, I get it.
It's not me, but I know plenty.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see the if there's a shift by anybody that normally they wouldn't be able to get.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think you just have to sneak it in and pretend it's a beef, and they're like, "Oh, the beef tastes a little funny. Maybe it's the plant's a little off today."
Shortage.
You know how mad you'll make them if they find out.
But Beyond Meat, I've looked into them. They're not that healthy.
No, they're not healthy.
It's like soybean oil, and like it's super.
The way I look at Beyond and Impossible, like I don't think they're that bad for you, but they're certainly not good for you.
Yeah.
Like if you eat it, you don't eat it every day, but if you eat it like once every few days even, you're not going to have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
The sodium's not that bad for you. It's just a lot of chemicals. So there may be some sort of long-term effects.
Yeah. That's worse than beef.
I mean, often a lot of the challenges with fast food and meat is it's how they dress up the burger.
Yeah.
It's the
bun.
triple stack of cheese, the bun, the Thousand Island dressing. Yeah. That's what really kills the whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that really wraps it up. We haven't heard anything about Planet Fitness.
So Planet Fitness missed big.
Okay. Stock's up.
The stock's up.
Stock's like just tinkering a little down. So we'll know tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Okay. So that means it's going to be up by the morning.
Oh my God.
You miss earnings big, you get rewarded in this environment.
It's opposite here from the market.
Amazing. So we're going to do now As Seen on Social.
Yep.
Taylor, what do you got?
So I got this. I saw this on Twitter. It showed a $2 million house in Palo Alto.
Oh, I saw that.
A neighborhood outside of Columbus, Ohio, like the most affluent, nice neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio. In Palo Alto for $2 million, you get like a 1,300 square foot, one bedroom, the shittiest looking house. For $2 million in Columbus, Ohio, you get 8,000 square foot house on 16 acres with your own private lake. And it's the most beautiful looking house ever. And the caption was like, with remote work, like why would you live in Palo Alto, especially as work gets more remote? And I kind of agree with that. Like, so there's so many nice places.
Okay,
so
I agree with that. You don't have to live in Palo Alto, but being in Columbus and being in Northern California is a huge difference.
Weather-wise, but you're in Columbus for 6 months and you can go snowbird somewhere else.
So I think this is the perfect time because I know in my friend group we've talked about this, but it's just like this fantasy that like, oh, if like 10 or 15 of us all move to a city and you can be more affordable, get a sick house, do all that. This is the time for like a young group of people to do that because you're not missing out on being in LA right now.
At all. Yeah, I mean, myself and my girlfriend were talking about like, what if we just go to Charleston for like 3 months or like whatever and just see what it's like? Because
I mean,
be a king there.
Yeah, I probably will never leave, but good luck with that.
Yeah. No, but I think young people can do that.
How would you feel with me living in a nicer house? I'd
be happy for you. I'll never visit you, but I'll be happy for you. Here's the thing about it that for me is such a challenge to leave LA. There's a cultural element that I do not feel comfortable in places that are not diverse. People are not well informed, well educated.
It's good for Taylor.
Yeah, it's good for, young whites.
Young whites can do this.
Young whites can go, we go to Charleston.
Yeah, I'm not never going to Charleston.
Let me tell you, from a guy who's lived on the outside that now lives on the inside, inside's pretty good.
Yeah, but
even in my small apartment that I pay far too much.
How many roommates did you have when you first moved here?
Oh, a lot.
How many?
He was in a pod.
I had like 19.
And what were you paying for rent?
$900.
And what are you paying for now rent?
13.
And you have 3 roommates?
Yeah, I have 2 roommates,
so 3 of
but
them.
it's a bedroom, bath. It's fine. It's better than anything I've ever lived in before.
You're thinking about it right now because you have a girlfriend and you're happy and blah, blah, blah. If you can become single, this is a very different conversation. You don't want to be cooped up in a mansion.
Even if you're not single, it's like Wisconsin and Madison's great, but like
he's a little different than us. I don't think you like the lifestyle the way we do.
Yeah.
I think I like the lifestyle, but I think there's more to it. You guys don't want to get out of the bubble ever.
No,
I think there's more to the world. I think it's cool to live in
I've seen the entire.
but not there.
I've been there. I've traveled everywhere.
But you haven't lived there. You've traveled.
But because it's not convenient for the life I want to lead and the things I want to do, right? It's not just about working from home, and it's not everything's about money. I want to be close to my parents. I want to educate my child in LA because of diversity. For being a person of color, like that diversity and cultural awareness is so important to me. I can't get that in Columbus, Ohio. I just can't.
No, I agree. Like it's a much different perspective from, especially within the U.S. of being white and non-white. Like there's large parts of the country where I would feel uncomfortable on a day-to-day basis. Given if my original experience was that becomes the new norm.
Yep.
But if you come from LA where it's so damn diverse and no one cares in our bubble if you're Asian, Black, Indian, whatever, no one gives a shit here.
Yeah.
And if you go to a town where they start like
calling you the Indian guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it from a diverse standpoint because that's white privilege.
Exactly. Like where in Florida were you? What town?
You don't want to know. Outside of Tampa.
Exactly. Like we'd probably get, if we walked into a diner there, everyone would look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say it, there's only white people there.
We know our place, and our place is in big metropolitan areas, and I'm happy to overpay for the convenience of like not getting looked at.
Yeah. I mean, this has happened a few times. This is in Northern California. I took an Uber from a fancy barbecue in Atherton. Okay.
Yeah, I know Atherton.
It's a bunch of rich people, but there actually is, there's a lot of rich Indians in Atherton, but whatever. I get in an Uber, and the first thing the Uber said, "How was it working the event?"
No way.
That's happened. I went to this barbecue.
What'd you say?
I just laughed. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
And then I have a close friend who has a mansion in the city. Multiple times he's gotten out of Ubers and they think he works at his house.
Yeah.
Don't they know
you
the
should
Indians
be like,
are the smart
how does it driving this shitty car?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's just things I would never think of.
And that's in Northern California, which is like,
that's where all the Indians are.
I know, but that's
live.
what is even more shocking. Like, I've never felt that type of racism in LA ever, and I've lived here my whole life. It's shocking that it's up there, and it's a pretty. Maybe it's not as it's like it's a mirage that there's Indians in Fremont, there's Indians in Cupertino, and that's
little pockets.
Yeah, and I think that's for you it's a lot easier because I think. You can just fit in and you'll be fine, but it's just there's a cultural thing, and I'm not even being arrogant because I want the convenience of living in LA. It's just there's a cultural thing. Even in LA, there's problems with it in certain neighborhoods I don't feel comfortable in.
Yeah,
so
it's wild.
Anand, as seen on social.
Mine relates to Taylor's weekend. Donald Trump tweeted over the weekend encouraging you and the boaters. He loves his boaters and he wants you guys to continue to boat and campaign for him.
So Parker sent that in our group chat after. And I was pissed because I wish I uploaded my video because I could have been on Donald's Instagram.
If you CC'd him and boaters, you probably would have got a retweet.
I know, shit.
It's crazy. He retweets people that I'm convinced are bots. Like there's this random Indian name with an Indian flag as the handle, and he just tweets like Trump's the best, he's the man, and he retweets him, thank you for your support. And I went to this guy's Twitter feed, it had 75 followers and it was just Trump, 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 Trump. It has to be a bot. He just saw, brown guy, Indian flag, Trump, boom, retweet.
Anyone of color retweet. Look at people of color love me.
It's crazy.
A smart play by Trump. Make burner accounts of
I mean, it's a
people of
great
color.
front. Yeah.
Yeah. It works. I mean, we've said that. I think that with the Karen thing, that was a bot that just incited racial war for no reason. Mine was Kathy actually sent this to me. I was talking about how Ali Fakari was driving around 12 years old. There's a 5-year-old driving around a Lamborghini that got caught today.
A 5-year-old?
5-year-old.
With a parent or unsupervised?
Unsupervised.
Isn't a Lamborghini stick?
No.
You can
It
get
could be automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a 5-year-old could drive stick.
Let me find the exact.
I mean, like,
A 5-year-old boy wanted Hot Wheels of his own, so he decided to take his parents' car and drive to a dealership to buy a Lamborghini. The kid driver told officers that he left home following an argument with his mom. He might have been short on the purchase amount as he only had $3 in his wallet. So he, so he was driving to California to buy himself a brand new Lamborghini.
Right, he was driving a Lamborghini.
No.
To get
he was driving his regular whatever family car to go buy a Lamborghini.
Good for him.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old.
Smart.
Yeah, that kid's gonna be a. Oh my God. He's gonna be a motivational speaker on Instagram one day and saying, "When I was 5, I dreamed it. I got in my parents' car. I drove to the dealership to get a Lamborghini.
I mean,
now I'm in this Lamborghini. That's called manifestation."
Yeah. So I butchered in the beginning. He was driving himself to buy a.
I was about to say, people that have Lamborghinis seem like they'd be smart enough, hopefully,
Yeah.
to not have their kid drive a Lamborghini.
Yes, of course. But this is nuts. That this kid even got in the car and drove. It's pretty funny.
And saw over the wheel.
Yeah. And that's it. Do we have anything else, Pete?
we have to discuss the coffee.
Oh, we sold out.
So add that to your resume.
Add that
Coffee
to my
salesman.
resume. When I was 5 years old, I sold out coffee. Thanks, Our City Coffee. That delicious collaboration.
That worked so well.
So well.
Are you gonna re-up?
They talked about when you're ready, we're ready to re-up. I don't know when I'm
Are you
ready.
gonna ask for a bigger up front now, and you got your clout?
Yeah, I think now I need the bag to be shaped as my face.
I don't even know how
None
to
of this
react to
sticker
that.
bullshit.
No,
That's some
I don't
extreme
need
shit.
any sticker packaging. Or make the bag a D.
Like the letter,
Like
just like
Dunkin'
this.
Not a dick, but
Just a big penis. Wow.
Congrats.
But, yeah, Our City
Congrats.
Coffee. Thank you guys. And what's interesting is a bunch of my friends that bought it really enjoyed the coffee.
Yeah,
and
we got a
ended
lot
up
of
buying,
great feedback.
And ended up buying coffee from them. So
Wow.
if you want to do any major collaborations, I'm your guy. You think you have to go to the A list.
Nope, just go
Yeah,
right
go
down to
the
the
D
D
list.
list. The D list.
D-list celebrity all day here. Awesome. Anything else?
No, just go ahead and follow us. Go check out Behind Closed Doors on YouTube and IGTV.
On Group Chat Pod Instagram, and what's the YouTube?
At Group Chat Pod.
At Group Chat Pod.
Great.
Follow me on my personal Instagram account at Taylor Offer.
And cut it off right
I
there.
don't get much mic time.
And we were all a little nervous with Taylor on the mic.
Yeah.
And
I think it's pretty good.
Our most hated character is coming
He
around.
didn't annoy me today.
D gave me some
shaping.
advice.
Yeah.
D told me to listen to my old pods that I was on and practice on not being arrogant.
What was the raw
I
feedback?
actually
Did you
thought
agree?
Taylor asked some good questions.
Yeah.
Moved the conversation.
He was
along.
insightful.
Yeah.
I'm teachable. I'm not great, but I can learn.
And I think that's what it was about. It was more of like, we already have a D.
Yeah. A giant
We don't
douchebag.
need the younger white version.
Yeah. It's true. No, absolutely not. Can't have that.
And when you talk about white privilege is bad for a white person.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You can't have white confidence and be white. That's too much.
No,
you're
that's too
Indian
much.
or you're brown and you have white confidence. It's okay.
Yes.
That's how you break through barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But white confidence on a white person is just,
I'm like Rosa Parks.
yeah, you're sitting in drama's seat.
All right, guys. We'll see you Friday.